Hey guys, so I am back to do my most requested video, which is my everyday makeup look. So I'm going to take you through a step-by-step tutorial of everything that I use every single day. So we're just gonna jump right into it. I touch my hair a lot, and I'm sorry about that. So I already prep my skin with my daily moisturizer, and during the day before I apply my makeup, I like to use something more lightweight. So something like the Drunk Elephant Hydrating Gel, which is great because it's not thick and it really just leaves your skin feeling hydrated, but you're not gonna crease. So that's great for the daytime. I'm dropping all my brushes. So I told you guys before that I typically don't wear foundation. If I'm going out at night, I'll put it on, but I don't wear it during the day because I like to have more of a sheer natural look. So I'll just put it on where I need it if I need some coverage. So I'm first gonna go in with my Bobbi Brown concealer, and this is in the shade Warm Beige. This is one of my favorite concealers. It's full coverage, but it's not too thick, so it's definitely wearable, and you don't need a lot. So I'm just going to take it right under my eyes. And you want to make sure you go up into that crease because that's where the darkness lies. So I'm going to take, where's my brush? It's right in front of my face. So I'm going to take my full coverage touch-up brush and I'm just going to start blending it out. And it's nice when it's just a little bit brighter because it basically lifts your eye. Not too bright because you don't want to look like a raccoon in pictures. It's the worst. And then you just want to pat it in. Just like that. And I have a lot of darkness right now. I think it's because I'm super, super pale. So it just tends to show more. But this concealer goes a long, long way. You really just need a little bit. And don't forget to go into this inner corner. And you don't have to take it all the way down. I know a lot of girls draw a V. To me, the less makeup, the better. So I don't really do it like that. But again, if you have darkness further down, which I doubt that you do, because that really wouldn't make much sense. But if you do, by all means. But if you don't, it's totally unnecessary. It's just an overload on makeup that you do not need. Unless you're into that sort of thing. Okay, so after we apply our concealer, I'm going to set it using a sheer powder brush and some pale yellow powder. I typically like the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I just don't have it handy right now. I just ran out, but this is a great alternative. This is by Bobbi Brown, and this is in the shade Pale Yellow. And this is just to set it from creasing. And I don't put on any eye cream during the day because, again, I'm oily and I tend to crease, so I skip the eye cream and I just put on face cream. So next I'm going to take my foundation, and I'm using the Bobbi Brown BBU palette. This has every single shade and it also comes with every single corrector concealer. So right now I'm going to use the shade Warm Beige. Unfortunately, it's the third one. I am super pale. And I'm just going to apply it where I need it. And I just like to press it in. I'm not going to make a whole to-do with a brush. So wherever you have a breakout or you're a little red, maybe around your nose. But I like to keep the nose pretty natural. I mean, if you're red, I understand putting some on, but don't go overboard on your nose because you want your skin to shine through. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Make Face Gloss and put it right on the high points of my cheeks just to give a little bit of a subtle glow, because the moisturizer that I use for the daytime isn't thick enough and it doesn't give you enough of a sheen. So I'm just going to manipulate that skincare type of glow with this gloss. Just like that. And again, I prefer a more subtle glow rather than a lot of shimmer and sparkle. I just want it to look like a little bit of a healthy glow when the light hits it. I don't want it to be anything aggressive. And remember, this is a daytime look, so to me, the more natural, the better. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to contour a little bit. I don't do this every day, but I am feeling a little bit pale, so it helps a bit. So I'm going to mix 2 shades in my BBU palette. I'm going to mix Golden and Warm Honey. And I'm just going to apply it. Okay, so after I finish with that, if you do have a breakout that's really bothering you that you just covered with your concealer, make sure you set it with powder because it will move. So I like to take my powder through my T-zone and on my nose and on my chin because that's where I get super oily. That's where most people get super oily, if you're oily. The next thing that I'm going to do are my brows. So for my brows, I'm going to use this Bobbi Brown brow kit, and this is the dark kit. I love this brow kit. It has 2 shades. I use the lighter one to do the front of my brow, and I use the darker shade to fill in the tail. So my trick that I do is I start by brushing the hair down because I feel that when you fill in the brow closest to the skin and then brush the hair over it, it looks 10 times more natural because you don't see the product, you just see the hair, which just ends up looking fuller because you filled it in on the skin. So I'm going to take the darker shade and I'm just going to place it where I need it. So I'm not creating a different shape, I'm just enhancing what I have. And then I'm just going to brush it up to get an idea of where I'm at. And it just makes it so easy and it doesn't even look like product, it just looks like my hair. And a great rule of thumb is if you are having a tough time trying to fill it in your natural shape, you could draw a line from the front of the brow very, very softly and just pull it right across. Don't try to create a different shape, just work with what you have. And then just brush it up. See, like I have one empty space right here, so I'm just going to press the product in. Once you start filling in the head and you make it too dark, it just looks super unnatural. So you kind of want to leave that part sheer but full. And the same thing on the other brow. I'm going to brush it down and I'm going to start in the center and just work with the shape. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to do is use this Benefit Give Me Brow to set them. And I'm just going to wipe off the excess because I really don't need all this product because I already use product. So if I wasn't filling in my brows with the Bobbi Brown kit and I just wanted to use this, I wouldn't be wiping off all the product because I would really need it to fill it in. But this is really just to hold it in place and kind of create a little bit more bushiness. So what I'm going to do is brush up and over, just like that. And I like to keep the front part up because that's what creates more of that bushy, full brow look. Again, if you do go in with too much product and you make it a little bit too dark, you can always go back in with some translucent powder and you can just soften it a little bit. Just take a super fluffy brush, like this one, take some translucent powder and just run it right through. Just to soften it a little bit. Don't drive yourself crazy and go back in and start taking it off. It's just going to get really messy and you're just not going to be happy with the results. So the next thing that I'm going to do is my mascara, and right now I'm using the Benefit They're Real. I love this mascara. I was upside down, sorry. I'll link everything below though too. I always come back to this one. It's definitely in my rotation. It's the type of mascara that if you do go overboard, it starts to look a little bit clumpy, but if you do just enough, it just looks really fluttery and full and pretty. So you always want to start at the root and wiggle your way up. You can also close your eye on the wand to apply more pressure to it, and this will just lift your lashes a little bit more. I'm trying to keep my mouth closed for you, sorry. It's so hard to do with a cute mascara face. And the same thing on the other eye. And a lot of you ask me what eyeshadow I wear every day, but I don't wear eyeshadow. I happen to like the natural color of my lid. It's a little bit red, but it looks like a shadow shade, which I like. And I like to kind of keep the opposite color. I don't want to look too monochromatic. I want to have a little bit of that red shining through. And if I'm going to have it anywhere, I want it to be on my eyelid. Obviously, if I'm going out at night or I have an event, I'm not going to leave my eyelids red if they're really red. But there are definitely some great options for a good base or just a good shade to kind of even out your skin tone. You can look for like a taupey color, or you can even just use your concealer, but for me, I don't like when it matches my skin too much. Okay, so the last, I was just gonna say the last and final thing, but that means the same thing. Okay, so my favorite part of my makeup routine is blush. You guys know that I love cream blush, I love liquid blush. This is just my favorite part. I think if there was one thing that you're going to do, that's not true. I think if there's one thing you're going to do, it should be mascara because it opens your eyes, but also blush because it really just totally gives you that like healthy glow. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to use my finger. Okay? Okay. Well, I'm going to use this Honest Company cream blush, and this is the shade Truly Thrilling. Just dab it in place. And you just want to smile a little so you know where to place it. A little on the nose, a little on my lips. And you don't want to go too close to your nose because it's kind of just going to smush your face together. You want it to stay a little bit further back on the cheek to really open up your face. Okay. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of lip balm. I really don't wear lip colors during the day. This is by The Honest Company. And this is called Magic Balm. It's a sheer lip balm. It's also pretty on the eyelids. And again, you can use this on your cheeks too. I just love to be dewy all over. If you don't, you got a problem. Okay, so this is my finished look. So this is my finished look. This is my everyday look. It usually takes me about 10 to 15, no, 10 minutes. The only thing that I can get a little bit carried away with are the brows, because you do want them to be equal. If I was doing eyeliner, I'd be late every single day. So my brows definitely take the longest because you want them to be symmetrical. And my go-to look is pretty natural. I like my skin to be very sheer. If you do have a breakout, just concentrate on that breakout. Don't worry about covering everything and making your skin tone even. It's just not necessary during the day, and it just looks so much prettier when you could see your natural face. So this is what I do. If you guys have any questions, please just message me, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.